Yo, what's up, Madagascar? And I wish I had a fast car. In today's video, we're going to be looking at Excavator, a Scavenger from the Mecha Invasion 2-pack featuring him and Bonecrusher. I wanted to say Biggie again. I know, bad joke. But I do have Generations Toys of Scavenger here, specifically the Jinbao one, who I've heard is the predecessor to all of this. And the reason I have him here is that even though they aren't really that similar, I will say there is a couple of things. Like this little belly weird thing. He does have it here too, and it's not the belly, but it is in the same placement in the alt mode, so I thought that was kind of interesting. Also, the way the arms transform, the way they're kind of situated over here, he does the same thing. I'm not going to transform him, but basically, yeah, they end up in the same place. And one other thing is that the Generations Toys of Scavenger and Bonecrusher are pretty similar in the way they transform. They share the same design philosophy, and him and Bonecrusher, they actually share the same design philosophy as well. And so further credence to that, this is an extension of the Gravity Builder Generations Toys Constructor concept that came out a while ago. Anyway, with that blurb out of the way, let me move him out and we'll focus on him, okay? Hey, before we do a deep dive, just wanted to say big shout out to tfsafari.com, my sponsor, who sent me this set. And so if you have any like Transformers, robot, or like mecha needs, check out tfsafari.com first before you do your other shopping, and utilize the codes on the top right-hand corner of the screen if you do end up buying something, and save yourself a little bit of change, all right? And so let's get on to the review. Once again, thanks to tfsafari.com. And so, yeah, this is Excavator, obviously, Scavenger in his alt mode. There are a couple of things that are simplified. One, this is very simplified. There is a swivel over here, but you're not going to see moving pistons like you would have in some of the Generations toy stuff. And I'm okay with that because, quite honestly, I never really utilized those, and I just think they got in the way anyway. And so I'm fine with that simplification. This thing doesn't move. It doesn't swivel. I think it would have been really nice if it would have, but it doesn't. Even when you untab some of these bits over here, it doesn't do so. And yeah, that's too bad. The treads also don't move, and they don't have any wheels over here or anything like that. And I don't really mind that too much. There's a couple of things over here in that, you know what? It seems to have straightened up. But this bit, I couldn't get to sit flush, but it's doing it now. So yeah, I guess whatever I did wrong earlier resolved itself. But purple is really, really vibrant. I love the lime green, the silver, and I do think there are some bits of metal here. Like I think this is metal, this shiny thing. But what's interesting is like, look at this. It's half shiny and half not, almost as if this is just like a chrome paint that went over the plastic to make it seem like metal, because it's not cold to the touch. It's the same temperature, so it might be some fake metal. I don't know, right? But anyway. But they also have blaster storage. All of them do, and it's incorporated really, really well. And it's just about, you know what? I think I need to remove the feet really quick. And then you just pop that out, and it's kind of on that like eye slot. And yeah, and this looks like the symbol for pi or something. And you just slot it in there and then fold it back. And it also serves to light up the magnet in the head. I don't like putting magnets and electronics in my toys, and so I'm not going to do that. But you can do that with yours. And yeah, that blaster, that little metal tip down there, that will light everything up, okay? But there's not much else. This is what I'm talking about. There's that slight gap over here, yeah. But again, painting's done, nicely done. Details are done very well, very stylized, a very flat version of the Excavator vehicle. And so there isn't that much else to talk about in my opinion. And so I'm gonna go directly into the robot and the foot mode. But again, all the details, Giant Legion, all the things, all the text and stuff is very, very, very crisp. And they've spared no expense on what they've been doing over here. And I've been really, really happy with everything that I've experienced so far. Alrighty, let's get him into his bot mode. I really like the bot mode a lot. I think it embodies Scavenger quite well. And you can see the face over here. Very, very cool. And we'll see that in greater detail later. But yeah, like I said, I think it embodies that very well. And yeah, it's just a fresh new take, a neo take on the whole Devastator thing. And it would have been cool if they somehow swapped the positions of Long Haul and Hook. That would have been kind of nuts, because everyone else swapped, but maybe in a future release. And so you do all of this, and granted, I just got this yesterday, so the transformation is still a little bit fresh in my mind, so I apologize if I do a couple of things out of order, but opening this up basically is going to allow you to lift this bit up, and these will tab in over here under these tabs, these little slots, or excuse me, these tabs and these slots. And then you want to move this forward, and as you're moving this forward, you see that gap right over there? You want to push up until that lies flush. Cool, or that lays flush. I always get confused between lay and lie, or Lee. Haha, Korean names or Asian names in general. Haha. Actually, Lee's a derivative of a Chinese name. Anyway, neither here nor there. So we split the feet, and these are actually the gestalt toes, but we're not going to really focus on that right now. But in order to move them, you do need to untab them. Oh, okay. I was about to say, I think I need a spudger, but no. I'll utilize my nails and risk losing them. You untab this, and then you'll spin this whole bit around, and then you'll retab that back in, and you can bring this down, and that's the foot. It's different than the Generation Toys ones, which basically has a lot of treads that come undone and flap down. But no, it's not like that, and they tab in very securely. A little bit too secure right now. All right, I'm gonna need a spudger later for that. But yeah, you can see where they tab in right over here, and then they have the same thing kind of going on the other side. But this is what I was telling you about. This looks like it's metal, doesn't it? But I think it's just paint, because you can see it's just plastic under there. But and see, I think it's just paint. I think it's faux metal chrome to make it look like that. But it's still cool though to highlight the knees like that, and that's also revealed in the combiner form. And so, okay, cool. So now we've done all of that, and then we'll bring the legs down, and then you can kind of compress them. And you can hear some nice riggata ratchets. And there's the belly over here, and I wonder if at this point we can spin everything around. Well, if I can't, then I'll find out later. But I'm just going to move the legs up for now, and I may need to adjust the position of the camera later on, but for the time being, we'll just kind of leave them as is. And up at the top, this is where it kind of resembles the Generations Toys' version. And this bit, I believe what's going to happen to this is it's going to close up. But yeah. See that kind of like L-shaped cavity right there? It has a corresponding tab on this side, and it plugs in nicely. And that's very satisfying, actually. And the same thing over here. I'm just wondering when I'm supposed to move the head. Because, okay, you know what? I messed up right now. Yeah, because I remember there's a collision issue. So let me undo this. That means you gotta flip the head out before you fold everything down. Yeah, I knew I was messing something up. And so when this was still like right side up, when this was still all, dude, oh, this whole thing, oh, there you go, it's getting flummoxed. There you go. You got to flip the head out before you bend that bit down. So my bad on that. I may have to edit that bit out where I was clearly having a brain fart. I was like, what's going on? Okay, and then now, once again, you can bring these up. You can see that nice face over here with the little button on the side, right? Cool. And then from here, we bring the arms down, and then we're gonna flip these, and this bit is gonna come down on itself. This bit will open up, and it will turn. The fist will come up, and in the back over here, there's this flap that you just press down, and it'll fill in that empty cavity. And then from the other side, this is what it looks like. You could bring the arm down, and you can see the shoulder is in here. It's multiple joints, and then you're just folding everything out like that, and then pushing this back. And pretty much that's it. And I'm not sure if this is supposed to fold up. I think it's just like this. Or it goes lower. Nah, I think it's just like this. Well, you can have it like that, or you can have it like this, I suppose. But nah, I think it's the other way, dude. Well, it doesn't really matter. it's not of great consequence. But there we have him, Mr. Scavenger. And then we'll pop in his blaster. And I think it's a 5 milli, by the way. The fists don't open up. They're not, the fingers aren't jointed. It's just a solid fist with the hole. But I think that looks very fine. It's not too crazy like homie over here, old man. This doesn't do anything. It just kicks in. This is what I was talking about, like these extra pistons and stuff. Yeah, it's cool, but at the same time, it didn't really sell the toy for me. And if you look at the scale, I'm wondering if After Generations Toys saw what Jinbao did to their product, maybe they were just like, hey, you know what? It is better at that scale. And so they made this new Mecha Invasions version to be at this particular scale. And boy, it's a fresh breath. It's a fresh take, breath of fresh air. Seems very G1 at the same time, very stylized. This was very stylized and not very G1 necessarily, but just seeing the tread legs and stuff like that, the very square top, the button on the head, just all really, really reminds me of good old Scavenger. And he's great. You're not going to see too much of a... well, actually, you know what? I take that back. I thought he only had 90 degrees on the elbows, but he has a deep one. Nice, 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 nice. And these fold all the way back because this is what it needs to do for the combined mode. And boy, look at that. That's crazy, right? But just know that this is plastic with chrome paint. It would have been nice if it was metal so that it could hold the weight down of the Devastator figure because these are on the bottom. But whatever, dude. And yeah, he does up and back. He doesn't do like an outward too much, but that's fine. I don't really care. And that's the extent of his A stance, but that's cool. That's cool. And the arms, they do full circle, up, down, left, right, and stuff. And head is on a bigoted ball joint and stuff, so it's pretty cool. I love this set so much. As I mentioned in the other videos, I'm typically a catch and release guy. I get stuff and I sell them or I give them away. But this one, my friends, this set I'm keeping, along with, I mean, I ordered myself a new JGM Predaking because the one that I reviewed belongs to a friend. And so, yeah, I like that one a lot. I'm keeping like the Craftsman's Toys stuff. Very few stuff that I'm keeping in my own collection, but this definitely is one of them. Very cool, right? These are the feet over here, and they also incorporate themselves as part of the greater Gestalt mode. And we may as well get into that right now, right? I hope I remember how to transform him, but I'll be right back. Alrighty, let's convert him into his leg mode. I was going to say there is one thing that I found out regarding his A stance. Excuse me. Regarding the A stance. Earlier I said it was kind of limited to this, but I forgot that he has a double hinge over here. And so if you needed to, you can actually use that double hinge to kind of get his legs in a wider stance and position. So yeah, just quick addendum. So from this portion right now, we're going to, do I need to? Yeah. You got to untab this and you got to bring this around and you're going to close this up and you're going to keep that open and then you're going to bring this up and that's going to form the basis of the... Hey, you remember earlier I was saying that I thought that this was painted plastic? I'll tell you right now, these are cold to the touch. They might be metal. They might be metal, huh? But it's weird though, you know what I mean? It's missing that sheen. It's not glowing over here while this is. So I don't know. I don't know for 100%. I'm not 100% sure, but it is cold to the touch, huh? Interesting. Anyway, you bring the foot down and that's the side of the toe. Then you bring that up, and then what's going to happen is these are going to sandwich together. But before we do that, there's one very important thing that you got to do, and I almost forget this every time I transform this guy, is one, you got to bring these bits down, and you got to separate. You got to get the head to basically sit back here, but you won't be able to do it like right now. There's going to be a clearance issue. So what you need to do is... you need to bring these down, then you need to kind of bring these out again because there's a variety of tabbing mechanisms in place. And then you see this small section over here, right? You got to make sure that this separates from this. And I don't know what's a good way to do it. Hold on for a sec. All right, it is a tight fit. So the best way to kind of do it is just kind of get your fingers in over here and try to grip this from the, or like grip this from the little stalk and just kind of pull it apart. And that way you'll be able to flip the head around. And again, you have to do that. Otherwise you can't do what I just did. So, okay, now that that's out of the way, we can worry about these bits kind of later on. For the time being, let's go back to the legs. Now, what you're going to do over here is you're going to bend this back, and kind of, you can pull these out. And do be mindful of this purple thing. It is necessary. So you're going to bend these upwards, and then what you're going to do is you're going to bend this hinge so that this comes to this side. Do be mindful of the collision. I mean, it is on a double hinge, so it will allow you to bend it, but just be careful on where you're bending it so that the plastic doesn't eat against each other and rub against each other. And then you're just going to tap that in there. Same thing for the side, just kind of bring it down and tab that in there. And then now that purple bit, we can bring this down, and you can see that there's a corresponding hole over there, right? So just bring this backward so that that plugs in and that plugs in, and then give it a squeeze, and then you can squeeze the toes together as well. And that's how everything's going to actually lock in place. Cool. Alrighty, right? And so here's that weird chest bit thing earlier that I was talking about that, that the Generation Toy Scavenger has. And so now this thing over here is kind of interesting. You're going to fold this back down, and this tab, oh, you know what? You're going to want to close this. I didn't fully seal it, so you got to push this. There you go. That just tabs in like that, right? And so what you're going to do is you're going to fold this down, and you're going to hinge this, and you'll find that it's going to tab in like that, and that's where it's going to rest. Make sure that you do have this kind of gap over here, okay? Now the arms, what you're going to do is you're going to let this piece guide you. Fold this up, and then fold this up, right? And ultimately you want this part facing upward, and so you're going to bring that like that, and you're going to bring that like that. And then you will see that this little post is going to plug into this port. And I imagine this is going to plug into Longhaul's foot. But for the time being, yeah, you're going to get that. And for the arm, there's one side that's hollow and the other side that's not. You want the solid side facing you. And open up the forearm panel over here. Bend the fist back, and this whole thing is going to fold down, and there's a tab right here on the inner side of the forearm that's going to tab into this thing over here. So you just do that and get that tab to line up to the slot, and that's nice and secure, my dear. One more time over here, you flip that up and also flip that silver bit up and let the orientation of that kind of guide you. And then again, you can just plug that bit in there. Open this fist up, close the fist up, bend down, and then tab in place. And oh, okay. And this bit. I think it's like that. And Viola Granola, we got the foot. Cool, huh? And you can see there's a nice sturdy ankle tilt right at where his waist tilt would be. And so he's more like a calf than anything. He doesn't really have much of the thigh baked in, and the rest is going to be made up of long haul, but he looks good, dude. And I can't believe everything is just all built in one. They've done such an incredible job with their engineering. And so you can see the toe over here. It looks nice. And looking at all of this, that's probably how the locking mechanisms work. Multiple sliding gimmicks, these little posts and ports in over here. And yeah, I'm excited, man. I'm excited. I got to make sure to just kind of be chill though and not overextend myself, because I still got to do the Bonecrusher review. And then basically we can put all of them together. And so, yeah, that's pretty much been the review for this. And so if you like what you see, support tfsafari.com, support me, utilize those codes that you see on the corner of the screen. I don't make any money from that. Like, I don't make affiliate commission or anything like that. It just lets my sponsor know that I'm converting a lot of people to their site. And so that goes a long way in me continuing to get these types of toys. And that allows me to make videos to share with y'all. And yeah, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, I appreciate y'all watching, and I will talk to y'all very soon. Next time is going to be part 2 when we talk about the Crusher of Bones, the Smasher of Marrow, and yeah, I'll talk to you then, okay? Bye.